but dead meat is full of mucus and parasites, man. We gotta do better. And people boil meat every day and see this pace and keep right on eating it. Like, let's get healthy, man. When you know better, you do better.
I'm gonna be honest with you, fasting is the cure for everything. When your body don't have nothing to eat, it's gonna eat all your bad cells up because it go into fight or flight. And when it eats your bad cells, your body release hydrogen. And you know, we breathe in oxygen. So I be wondering like, damn, I done went all day without eating and drinking, but I'm still pissing. Like, why am I pissing? We create our own water.
When's the fast? Is it the sun's up to down?
That's what most people do, from sun up to sundown. But I like to do it to where when I break my fast, it's just with liquids. I like that liquid diet.
That's hard. So what's the longest you fast for?
Like no food, just water, like liquids. Like 42 days, I did about 3 of them. You're not delusional when you fasting. Things really get weird because you're not seeing you seeing beyond the physical realm. You seeing into the spiritual realm.
The fact that when I turned 72 years old, I did 100 push-ups in my restaurant, in front of my customers. I've got young grandchildren that can't do 5 push-ups. The fact that I don't even have a primary care physician, I am the best example. But people will look at you and be like, wow, can you hand me that piece of chicken? I will never eat animal flesh, the blood, the mucus, the disease. I will never, ever, ever revisit that way of life. What changed in my life was my inability to digest food. Because of knowledge, I learned what foods to eat together and what foods not to eat together, so that helped with the digestive issues. Also, I had really horrible skin, and changing took care of that as well. So, you know, I'm a woman, I'm vain. Of course, you know, you want to have pretty skin, and I was a hot mess. I couldn't even wear anything backless. The diet cared for all of that. Got rid of, because I was addicted to refined sugar. So I didn't just give up animal products. I gave up refined sugar, dyes, preservatives, all of that stuff I got rid of.
Please tell me what I can do to remineralize your tooth. If you write these herbs down, use white oak bark. Say it again, white oak bark powder. Neem powder, all organic though. White oak bark powder, neem powder. Clove powder, fresh clove powder. Make sure it's fresh clove powder. Sodium bicarbonate, or what we're going to call baking soda, without aluminum in it. Sodium bicarbonate, which is what we're going to call baking soda powder, without aluminum in it. And last but not least, myrrh gum resin powder. Myrrh gum resin powder. Do all equal parts. Mix these things up, and that will restore your entire mouth. That was one of my first toothpaste powders. Well, one of my first tooth powders. It healed my entire mouth, y'all. That's what you need.
The more light you have, the more darkness you're going to go through. You have to understand, on the spiritual cycle of the journey, it's going to feel like you're taking 10 steps back a lot. But when you're in alignment and you're doing what you need to do and you're sticking to your script and you're kind of feeling stagnant, please understand, you're only feeling like you're taking 10 steps back is because you've been doing so good. You're hitting these new levels. You have all this light, and the only way to be a true light worker is to be a shadow worker. So you're required to go back into the shadows, to go through that unprocessed trauma, to heal from these things. So when you hit these new levels, you're going to be reaching things that you once thought were unattainable. You're also going to be able to pick up on new energies. You're going to be able to understand yourself better. You're going to be able to understand the spiritual process better as to why you have to keep going back. It's not that you're actually 10 steps back and you're going to be stuck there. It's a simple fact that you're going 10 steps back to be 20 steps ahead. You have to understand, because if you're really a true light worker, you're not afraid of the dark anymore. You know what's there and you know how to get out of it. And you know there's always rainbows and sunshine at the end of the storm. Please stop worrying about the time it takes. You have all the time in the world. You need to work on your patience. Stay patient. Let everything unfold. And I promise you, just realize you're only taking 10 steps back because you're consistently going forward, and it's time to unlock a new level. You got to dig deep. You got to go into the shadows in order to be into the light, and that's just how it works.
Check what you're eating. If when you eat done, you feel tired and lazy, it means that you're eating dead food. Get yourself up. Start eating some live.
Cancers and tumors are good for you when the body has a bunch of toxins in them. Yes, it is. Now,
how long should these cancer and tumors last?
Until you eradicate all the toxins out of the body. We get rid of tumors all the time. I'm here. I mean, they know this. I'm here all the time. We get rid of tumors all the time, and the body gets rid of cancer all the time. I'm not a healer. I just help facilitate the healing. The body is a healer. I'll be ingenuous. I'll be disingenuous, and I will be on a high horse to say that I heal the body of anything. No, you have the power. Your body heals itself, and you can do this without buying herbs from me. That's how. It's not about the money. I'm a millionaire. It's not about the money. It's showing you who you are and the capabilities that the Creator gave you. A tumor. So, for instance, if you're constantly eating foods that you're not supposed to be eating, whenever you eat these foods get broken down and get delivered to the cell. When the foods get broken down and get delivered to the cells eat these foods on a micro level. Well, just like you have to defecate and go to the toilet, your cells defecate. They just don't have legs and they're floating on an interstitial fluid called lymphatic fluid, so they poop on top of them cells. Well, what's supposed to happen is the lymphatic fluid goes through the body and it picks up all of the metabolic waste from the cells and take it to lymph nodes. When it goes to the lymph nodes, you have macrophages and bacteria that breaks this food down. When you break this food down, these foods turn into acid. So they got to go through these lymph vessels, go to the kidneys, and then you urine it out through something called urea. That's what your metabolic waste break down.
I can't believe nobody's talking about what this man just said. Watch this.
This honey, you can't get this honey but once a year. This honey's alkaline. This honey is so powerful that when the woman has vaginal discharge in her nurse, all they do is make a suppository and put it out there and it's gone in 24 hours. When the child has earache, I drop it in the air, the earache is gone. And recently, about a year ago, a friend of mine who come to the village said, my little girl always gets a ball under her eye and the doctors cut it out but it goes back. And it goes back. I said, put the honey in her eye. Put a drop of honey in her eye. Never go back. And he brought his father that had a cataract on his eye. He put a drop each day. A week later, it was gone. This is a honey that's made from a bee. This bee that made this honey is black. It's small. It doesn't bite you. You guys in your ear and, do a number on you. You'd be kind of comfortable. But the honey of this bee is what I drink every day, 1 tablespoon.
I don't believe in disease. I don't believe disease exists. I believe that the body has the natural capability of healing itself when the energy is not capable of flowing easy throughout the whole entire body. I believe that these diseases are nothing but symptomologies of detoxification symptoms. These people believe in disease. So there is no argument there because we believe in something totally different. I don't think that we're made to drink actually H2O water. I'm not saying that you can't drink it, but I believe that we were made to drink water that come from our fruits, which is called H3O2. They can't even tell you the molecular weight or the chemistry behind H3O2. They can't even find it. So why would I argue with you? You can't even do the proper math, or you don't even have the type of experiments and studies to show the different change. Is it a dipole? Is it a tripole? Is it a monopole? Like, how is this water even being exchanged through the body? So you tend to find yourself being angry and mad and wanting to go back and forth with people that's just not intelligently or consciously even on your level. And I just learned to bypass that. Put out the information. For those that's meant to hear the information, they will. And if they apply the information, they will see that I'm right. For those that just want to hear and soundbite and argue, let them do them. It's a balance. It's my art when it comes to anything in creation. Without light, there will be no darkness. Up, then it creates down. Beautiful creates ugly, hot, cold, skinny, fat. This is part of the game. And if I'm out here teaching millions new information that challenge the very foundation of their mindset and what built their personality, if I don't expect to have no backlash or to be critiqued or criticized, I'm stupid. So I expect what happens. I expect everybody to come at me. They didn't want you to know about Dr. Sebi curing AIDS and all of these things, because then you would know you don't need their medicines to do it. You only need you and the natural planet around you, which you created. So in actuality, Dr. Sebi was telling you that you are a god, but in a different way. He said you are electrical beings. Alkaline diet. A lot of people talk about alkaline and don't know that alkaline is just another word for electricity. People just say alkaline because it sounds good, and they heard Dr. Sebi say alkaline. I heard I need